Hey guys, Jonathan here at Shadow Foam, and this week we are going to be putting hand tools on the wall. We've put a lot of foam in roll cabs and toolboxes and flight cases. We've put loads of power tools in power tool walls and modular panels, and that's all fantastic. But the roots of Shadow Foam is in shadow boards. That's where the name came from, or that's where we kind of derived the brand Shadow Foam from all those 11 years ago. So it's about time we build a Shadow Foam shadow board. And for that, we need some hand tools. So let me show you what we've got. Right, so these are all the DEWALT hand tools that I've got. This side of the table over here is everything I already had, and then this is all the new stuff that I've picked up for this big old tool panel. I don't know if there's going to be enough to fill up the panel, but I'll talk you through what I've got. So on this side, the majority of this lot is this big Costco multi-pack, this DEWALT multi-pack that I picked up quite a while back now. I think it was last year. It's still there now, I believe. I was in Costco last weekend and I did see the pack there. And essentially that came with a load of DEWALT sockets, spanners, it came with the Allen keys and a few other bits and bobs, and all good stuff. It was a bit of a mixed bag. There was a few little weird quirks to it. You can go and check out this video if you want to see more about that DEWALT tool pack. But I did add a tape measure. I've had the laser for a long time, a DEWALT laser, and I added this kind of plier set and the knife. But then subsequently, for this video, I've been to Screwfix and picked up the 5-in-1 hacksaw. This is pretty cool. I had something the exact same as this by Stanley, and obviously Stanley owned DEWALT. It was a Stanley Fatmax version, and it's got like this tensioning rod so you can get it really tight, and you can turn it into a bit of a jab saw or a pad saw. Quite a cool bit of kit, really solid. Picked up this heavy duty nailer as well. Really nice looking piece of gear. I have actually got a Makita electric stapler, but that's probably like swearing if you're watching this DEWALT video.
Oh yeah, we don't talk about that.
We've got the DEWALT Speed Square, which is really nice quality. It's like a milled side on it and just feels good stuff. We've got the DEWALT Torpedo level. We've got some pipe grips and some aviation snips. They should make a nice little set together. We've got the DEWALT Rip Claw hammer, which again feels really nice. Just a nice quality and a good price on this, to be fair. Putting that up on the screen. Can't remember exactly what it was, but there you go. Good price, solid tool. I like it. And then we've got a set of woodworking chisels to go with it. And this is a bit of a weird one. In the US, you've got a much broader range of DEWALT hand tools. I can see loads of cool stuff that I'd love to have a look at. We are overdue a trip to the States to have a look at your tools over there. And one of the things I couldn't find over here was DEWALT adjustable spanners. You've got some really nice DEWALT adjustables that are kind of like dipped with a yellow handle. I couldn't find those over here. Don't really want to import them for the price they were. So I picked up these Stanley Fatmax, and I think they're a nice addition to it, especially as we've got a big plan for this. We've got a big, grand hand tool wall panel plan. You're not going to want to miss all the other panels we've got to build. So you want to make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and click the bell icon because we've got huge projects coming. And as part of that project, I do want adjustables in each of the panels. So I had to get something. They do match up quite nicely. And obviously, as we've already said, Stanley Black & Decker do own DEWALT. So probably quite similar to the DEWALT ones. But we'll know that when we go to the States. And let me know in the comments if there's any DEWALT hand tools that you've got that aren't on this table that I'm missing, because I'd love to know. Always love talking tools, and I do read all the comments. But I think we've got a good range, and all of the stuff I've seen from DEWALT is great quality. Everything's got a nice solid feel to it, and I am really happy to have all this here and get it all in a tool panel. So going to be a great build. Now, we did a project a couple of weeks back, and it was the DEWALT modular power tool panel, and we're going to be making this panel the same size, so like a matched set. The only difference is going to be this one is going to be a bit shallower, so I'm going to have to get the skill saw out, cut down the rails and make it about 50mm deep so we can have a 50mm panel in there. So it's going to be a really cool build. Let's get that built, and then I'll talk you through how we did it. Right, so back from B&Q, let's get started with this build. So there we go, that is the panel all done. Really simple process this is. We did the IKEA French cleat panel wall, and if you've not seen that, go and check it out. We had a lot of people commenting, you've got all the tools, why are you buying the frames from IKEA? Why don't you make them yourselves? Well, I'm not a joiner, I'm an electrician, but I do enjoy building stuff. So this is quite a basic build. I think anyone could do it. Let me talk you through the process. We've got a 12mm MDF sheet on the back, which basically ties it all together and makes it as solid as you're gonna get. So it doesn't really need anything too complex. I picked up a 45cm plank of like pine board from B&Q. It's sold for like shelving. And then I used a skill saw behind me with a guide on it to cut 50mm strips. And then I've cut those into basically two 120cm pieces and then two approximately about 55cm pieces, and basically built a frame. Nice and simple, just butted up the joints and put two screws through here and here, here and here. Then with the frame built, I've attached it to the MDF board. The MDF board came from B&Q, 120 by 60, and I checked it for square. It was ideal. I didn't have to mess about or anything. It made it really simple. Once I've screwed the frame to it, I've then put the sheet of shadow foam in there, which is 50mm also, so it came up flush to the top of the rail. And then I've used this is 20mm trim, basically some beading from B&Q, and I've just used a pin nailer to just pin it on, and it overlaps by about 2.5mm. This is 21mm and the side rail is 18, so I've got a 3mm overlap which just holds the sheet in, and for me it just really makes it look nice and clean. I didn't want to get one of these profiles, these like ornate profiles. I wanted something really simple, really clean, and I think that is just the ticket. So if you were mounting this on the wall, you could put it up, it would look really nice sideways like this or horizontal. I think that would be a really effective shadow board. But our plan is not just to have one of these, it's to have loads of these, and we're going to be mounting them all side by side. Now it's all built, let's get the tools all laid out. So that layout took longer than anticipated. Usually a layout can be done in, 10-20 minutes really. With being such a big sheet of foam and with such a kind of an array of tools, usually if this was a big spanner drawer it'd be easy. If it was a big screwdriver drawer with hundreds of screwdrivers it'd be easy. Because it's such a kind of a wide array of tools, I wanted to group things and I wanted to create almost segmentation. So having things in different orientations helps with your mind's eye splitting things up. When the spanners are all in a row, they're 90 degrees rotated to the screwdriver sets and they're in a row in size order. I also wanted the hammer as a bit of a centerpiece. I feel like that looks quite good and it's one of the best DEWALT tools that I found. I really like it, and I felt like I didn't want to lose it in a row because there's no other items like it, so I kind of wanted that centrally. This is like the feng shui of tool organizing. I wanted it to feel balanced, so we have to have even gaps around the items, nothing too close, but also maintaining those categories. So tape measures together with the speed square, with the laser, it's kind of like the measurement section. We've got the stapler, it's on its own. There's no other items that really go with that. Then we've got the hammer with the chisels. We've got all of the cutting and snips together and the knives, and then the cutting down here, and then the pipe grips just fit lovely in that gap. So we've got a really good balance. I'm happy with what I've ended up with, but you might notice there's a bit of a gap here, and basically I don't like spreading everything out. I mean, there is a temptation to just go, well, that's my space, let's spread it all out. For me, I prefer to leave a gap and then you can grow into the tool set. You can leave that space there, and in the future if you pick up anything else you can add it. So that's how I typically work, but for this I do want it to look amazing. I want it to be polished, I want it to be balanced, so I need some tools in that section. So let's head over to Screwfix, because I've had a look on their catalogue and I think there's one or two DEWALT tools I don't have which might go there, and there's another little shop, Warnhill Tools in Winsford, so we'll pop there as well. Have a look, see if we can find something which will fill up that gap. So let's head off. Right, so fresh back from Screwfix and Warnil. Didn't really find much in Warnil that I could use in this hand tool build, but I did find a key to stack and roll toolbox. Always happy to build up another toolbox. I think that is something I'm going to have to show you at some point. The entire collection of toolboxes I've picked up over the years is pretty mental. So if you want to see the full collection, or maybe you want to see the key to stack and roll, let me know in the comments. But over to the tools that I found. So all of this lot came from Screwfix. First thing I thought was a lovely little addition is this 30-meter long tape. It's one of these like fabric tapes that's for measuring out fields and stuff. I've also got the nail punch set, which is a nice thing, especially when you've got the hammer in there and you've got the chisels in there. Having the nail punch set feels like it's a no-brainer really to go in this panel. We've also got the mini hacksaw, or jab saw they called it in Screwfix. So that probably will go down here and we can change up the layout. Obviously I'm going to want to put a saw with the other saw. We've also got their multi-tool. Not sure if that'll fit, but they had it on offer at Screwfix. And again, we love tools on the channel. We love looking at tools. So even if that doesn't fit in here, I already have a Makita multi-tool. So I'd love to do a comparison. Again, let me know. I love talking tools and I respond to all the comments. So if there's any of these tools you've got, or maybe you can spot something that's missing, let me know. And last but no means least, we've got the laser distance measurer, which I don't have one of these. And this was a great opportunity to pick one up. And again, it's going to go with all of the measurement gear. So I'm pretty confident now that is the full jam-packed tool insert. So let's get these unpacked. Let's kind of reconfigure the layout with all of the new stuff. And then hopefully I can finally get to cutting some foam. Right, that's the first view. Best do the rest in time lapse. Right, so that is all of the cutting done, and I'm really happy with that balance, that layout. It was definitely worth the flipping hour and a half, 2 hours that I spent trying to kind of fine tune that layout. I feel like we've got nice segmentation. We've got the spanners are kind of splitting it down the middle, which is nice because then we've got all of the plier items, grips down this end, hammer, chisels, punches, and cutting materials. And then above here, we've got all of the measurement stuff. We've got all the screwdrivers, a couple of miscellaneous bits, and it just works really well. There's a nice balance. I've got nothing too close together. I've got no big gaps left. And I feel like I've really maximized the space, fitted a lot in there. And obviously it's all been done by the same approach. So it's every single item. I've just cut around it, peeled back the foam. Some of the items, like the spanners, I've just peeled back one layer. And then something like the tape measure, I've peeled out about 40 mils worth of material. And that way everything sits flush and it just looks super satisfying. So I'm pretty confident as well, when I put this on the wall, everything's gonna stay in because everything's nice and tight. Tight, 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 tight. The only thing this is missing is some finger pulls. So when it's come to the layout, I've really paid attention to where finger pulls are gonna go. So one of the things that took me a while was trying to get this hammer right. So hammerite paint. Trying to get the hammerite going. So trying to get this hammer in the right location with finger pulls, I had to basically jiggy these items around so we've got space for like a semicircle either side here. So when you're doing the layouts, you do want to kind of make a note of that. Where are the finger pulls going to go? So for this knife, I've left like a semicircle spot here. Same again, I've got a semicircle spot for this multi-tool. Same again here. And then for rows of items, I'll be doing like a tram line using the ruler, cutting either side. That means all of those items will be easy to get out. I'll do a tram line across the 2 rows of spanners. I'll do a little tram line across the 2 Allen keys. Same with the screwdrivers. That's the last step and then it will all be done. And I think the finger pulls will add a little bit more yellow to it as well, which should look good. So let's get cutting. There we have it. I'm absolutely over the moon with this build. I think this is probably one of my favourite builds and layouts. I just think the simplicity of the frame, how solid it is, and then the layout. I mean, this is just the business, I think. I am buzzing with that. I think that's going to look absolutely mental on the wall. I'm going to park this next to the DEWALT power tool panel, which is the same size as this, which is the next step. I'm going to take this over there and put them together. I think they're going to look absolutely sick. But would a panel of Milwaukee tools look as good as that? I don't know. Or maybe we could do a Bosch one. Bosch have got some really nice Bosch professional tools. Ryobi's got some hand tools. Let me know in the comments what kind of hand tool panels we should make, because after doing this one, I feel like that could be a satisfying setup, having a load of these. But maybe I've said too much there, I don't know. So let's take this over to the new workshop, park this next to the power tool panel we built, and finally see what they look like both together. So there we go, that is the modular DEWALT hand tool panel installed next to its twin, the power tool panel. If you haven't seen that already, go and check it out, because that was a banger as well. That's a much deeper panel. And these two together, I think, look fantastic. And these are actually part of a much bigger build, which you're not going to want to miss, because the finished result is going to be, I think, incredible, a true one-off. And I don't think anyone in existence will ever have a workshop as organised as what we've got planned. So you're not going to want to miss that. Make sure you subscribe, click the bell icon and like the video, it really helps. And let me know which panel you want to see next. We've got some big projects and some more panels coming, and we could do pretty much any tool brand. So I do read all the comments and I reply to most of them too. I love talking tools, so don't miss out. Make sure you let me know what you want to see. And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you like that video, why not check out some of our others? We've got new videos coming out every week. And Colin Furs, what's the quickest way for people to see these videos?
Subscribe.